Her voice was steady. Too steady. I need a break. To figure myself out. No contact. The call ended before I could answer. Silence sat heavy in the room. The kind of silence that doesn't feel empty, just staged. I stared at the phone like it was still breathing her words, waiting for me to crumble. But I didn't. I didn't even flinch. No contact. A phrase rehearsed, like she'd tested it on her tongue a dozen times before spitting it into my ear. I sat in the living room, the dim glow of the TV flickering over walls that had heard too much already. My wife had just pressed pause on our life, and I could feel it in my bones. This wasn't soul-searching. This wasn't confusion. This was choreography. The first crack in the mask. And when the silence ended, when her sister's careless Instagram tag bled across my screen, it wasn't confusion that hit me. It was clarity. Her break was poolside cocktails with another man. Sunglasses, smiles. Her body turned toward his, not away. And I didn't rage. I didn't throw the phone. I didn't scream. I just sat back, let the truth soak into me like cold water, and whispered to myself, "So this is what you've chosen." Betrayal isn't loud. It doesn't come with alarms. It seeps in quiet, like smoke through a crack in the door. At first, I wanted to believe her, that she needed space, that she was unraveling herself, not unraveling us. But the photos told another story. Her sister tagged her at a resort. Bright umbrellas, a man's hand brushing against hers in frame after frame. Not a stranger's hand, not a casual slip. Intimate, possessive. I scrolled slowly, each image carving deeper into me. She had lied with such precision, left me clinging to an illusion while she was busy writing her own script somewhere warm, somewhere secret. Shock didn't feel like an explosion. It was a suffocation. My body sat still, my mind whispering excuses she didn't deserve. Maybe it's old. Maybe it's harmless. Maybe. But the truth didn't bend. It hardened. I felt the weight of years, the small lies, the nights she stayed out late, the sudden distance she dressed up as exhaustion. I'd ignored the shadows. Now they stood in full daylight, smiling for the camera. My chest tightened, not with grief, but with calculation. If she wanted no contact, she would have it. More than she imagined. I moved quietly, deliberately. I shipped her belongings to her parents' house, each box sealed like a verdict. No anger, just removal. Her clothes, her books, her trinkets lined the hallway one last time before disappearing into cardboard. I didn't pack bitterness with them, only finality. On social media, I adjusted a single setting. Relationship status, single. A small act, public, surgical, enough to draw her out when she was ready. Meanwhile, I watched. Not her, her world. Mutual friends, tags, digital footprints. Lovers think they're discreet, but desire leaves residue. And there it was. Hotel check-ins, mirrored sunglasses catching his reflection, captions about sunsets written in her tone. I kept my exterior intact. I went to work. I answered questions with calm efficiency. Not a crack showed. But inside was a slow tightening, a careful drawing back of the bowstring. Every observation, every screenshot, every timestamp added tension to the cord. No confrontation, not yet. She would return on her own. They always do when the fantasy wears thin. And I would be waiting, not with begging hands, but with silence sharpened into a blade. Weeks passed. Then the call came. Her voice suddenly soft, hopeful. "I'm ready to talk." I said nothing at first. Let the pause stretch. Let her hear her own words echo against my silence. When she came over, she stepped into a house stripped of her. No shoes by the door, no perfume lingering on the shelf, just absence. Her eyes darted, unsettled. Where are my things? I slid my phone across the table. Photos filled the screen. Her, him, sunlight and betrayal framed perfectly. She froze. A quiet gasp cut the air. I was going to... I raised a hand, just enough to stop her. My voice was calm. I already know. She crumbled. Tears. Excuses. Theatrics. Her mask slipped too easily, revealing the frantic guilt underneath. And I stayed still, watching, detached. The truth wasn't a wound anymore. It was a weapon, and it was already in my hand. I didn't shout, I didn't accuse, I simply leaned forward. You wanted no contact, I said quietly. I gave you that, completely. Her face twisted, desperate now. Please, just... No, I cut in. Calm, surgical. Your break is permanent. I opened the front door. The gesture was final, undeniable. Her belongings already gone, her space erased. She stood there trembling, realizing she had nowhere to retreat. The lover wouldn't replace what she had lost here, the stability, the reputation, the clean narrative. And she knew it. Her tears weren't for me, they were for herself, for the life she shattered without calculating the cost. I didn't move, didn't console, just let her drown in the silence she had demanded. When she finally stepped out, I closed the door gently, not a slam, just a seal. And that sound, the soft lock clicking, was louder than any scream. I sat alone afterward, no chaos, no storm, just clarity. Her betrayal didn't define me, it revealed her, and in the revelation I found freedom. The man she chose was her mirror, temporary, shallow, convenient. She traded truth for spectacle, loyalty for a fleeting thrill. But I chose silence, strategy, finality. I respected her journey. I gave her what she asked for. No contact, no reconciliation, no return. And as I stared at the quiet walls, I realized something. She thought she'd taken power when she walked away, but power was never hers to hold.